Hello, today we're going to do the gym warm-up. This is really a warm-up you could perform for the other workouts as well, but it's going to be less dynamic than those exercises. So we're going to begin with foam rolling your upper and mid back. So I prefer to just start sitting on a foam roller, and you're going to cross your arms across your chest, roll down, and you can do it sectionally, so you could do just your mid back first, which is a pretty good idea actually. And then you're just going to do 10 to 15 passes. So while we're doing this video, you'll probably have to pause the video a lot so that you can complete it on your own. So complete 10 to 15 passes there. And then when you come back, you're going to complete 10 to 15 passes in your upper back. There's a lot of different foam rolling that you could do for that area, but we're just going to go over the basics. When you're rolling, go very slowly, because if you do it fast, you're going to further excite the muscle, which is going to defeat the point. Then from there, we're going to go into foam rolling your IT band, so slightly at an angle along your quad. You can also foam roll the front of your quad and directly on the side, but we're just going to go over the IT band today. So I prefer to go on my elbow with my front foot crossed over, because this gives me the ability to push back and forth. And again, you can kind of section off your leg and do one section for 10 to 15 passes, nice and slow. Do not go over your knee or over any of your joints. I'm just above my knee, which tends to be a very tight place for people, especially if you run frequently. And then you're going to move up here, and you're not going to roll over your hip. And then you're going to do that for 10 to 15 passes, nice and slow. And then you can't do your whole leg at one time as well. And then from there, we're going to do your adductor, which is possibly the most awkward one to set up. You're going to angle your foam roller away from the leg that you're rolling. So it's going to be, your adductor is the inside of your thigh. And if you have trouble remembering that, you add your thighs together. So then you're going to go on both elbows, angled out, and I'm using my opposite foot to push back and forth, as well as my elbows. And you're just going to go nice and slow 10 times. Again, you can go right above your knee, and that tends to be a tender spot for people as well. After we go through all of those, we're going to go into our more dynamic stretches. And so we're going to do our fire hydrant next. So the fire hydrant is going to be 10 times each direction, each leg. So basically it's going to be 20 repetitions each leg. Today I'm just going to show you 5 each way, so go ahead and pause the video when you're ready to do the fire hydrant and do it on your own. So nice neutral spine, tuck your pelvis. You're going to open with that nice circle. Make sure you're using your hip, not just jamming your knee out, so nice full range of motion with that joint. And then you're going to do internal circles. And you're going to do 10 each leg. After you've done the fire hydrant, then you're going to do Cossack squats, which are similar to side lunges, but with more of an intention for stretching. So for the Cossack squat, based on your own mobility, you'll have to decide how low you're going to go. You're going to go side to side, slight pause, and you're going to do 10 each side, keeping your spine nice and neutral, not rounding your back. And then after that, you're going to do your figure 4 stretch. So we have 2 options. I'm going to show you the one where you're laying on the floor first. So you're going to lay on your back, knees bent. You're going to lift that leg up to the air, slight flexion in your foot. Cross the ankle over the knee, reach your hands through, and then you're going to pull into. So you're keeping the intention of externally rotating through that hip. If you have pain in your knee, you're just going to leave your leg down. Another option that's a little bit more intense would be to do them seated. So when you're going to the seated position, you're going to keep your spine nice and neutral, so chest up, pelvis tucked, ankle crosses over the knee. Don't jam your knee out, and you're just going to lean forward. You can have a gentle hand on the inside of your thigh. Lean forward, and you're going to hold that for 30 seconds each side. And the same goes for if you're doing on the floor, 30 seconds each side. Some studies have shown that if you're 60 or older, you should do your stretches for 60 seconds each. So now we're going to go to our couch stretch. So you might need a pad for your knee depending on where you're doing these. Foot goes up behind you, and you're going to have a nice neutral spine. You don't want your back arched. You're not going to get a good stretch out of that. It's also not good for you. And and you're really gonna focus on neutral spine, squeeze your glutes, and we're trying to get full extension through that hip flexor. A lot of people sit all day, and this is very hard to fully extend. So make sure you're getting full extension there, squeeze your glutes, hold that for 30 to 60 seconds each side. And then from there, we're going to do our YTA prisoner stretches. I'm going to show you two different variations. So we're going to go Y, T, prisoner, and you want a nice rotation in that shoulder joint. Make sure that you're being really slow and intentional. Y, T, prisoner. And then you're going to do that 10 times. Another option would be to go I, Y, W. Especially if you're having any pain when you go to the prisoner movement, that second option would be good. Either way, do them 10 times. And then we're gonna go to our band internal external rotation. So you can attach your band to a rack or something else that you have in your gym or your home. And you're gonna do internal rotation, so you're gonna keep your elbow tucked. If you have a pillow to prop up between your, and the inside of your bicep and your waist, that's really helpful as well. And you're just gonna rotate in and back out. Nice and controlled, making sure this rotation is coming from your shoulder. I find that helps to use a flat hand sometimes. And that's our internal. You're gonna do that 10 times. And then you're gonna switch for the external. Your range of motion for external is probably gonna be very minimal, especially depending on who you are. So you're gonna keep that elbow tucked again. You can still use a pillow or towel propped up between your side and your arm. Open and close. And you're gonna do that 10 times each side. And that does it for our gym workout warm-ups. Enjoy.